Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or bring. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Ready to stop guessing and start growing as a trader. Welcome to Vici Trading Solutions, a community built by real traders for serious learners. We don't just post trades, we teach the why behind every move. With a full education section and daily breakdowns, you'll start seeing the market like a pro. You won't be trading alone. Inside the Vici Discord, you're surrounded by committed traders, from futures pros to rising crypto specialists, all learning and winning together. Gain first access to our exclusive indicators, powerful tools used daily by hundreds across TradingView and beyond. These aren't gimmicks, they're built to sharpen your edge. Each morning, our founder posts a full trading plan for the S&P 500 or NASDAQ and calls out the levels he's watching live. No fluff, just clarity. Education, tools, community. Whether you trade futures, stock, or crypto, Vici gives you the foundation and firepower to grow. Join Vici, trade smarter, conquer the markets.
Yo, welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Man, it is good to be here. Another great day. Oh my goodness. So, man, I'm so happy to be done with rollover. I know you guys know I was geeked when I did the weekend review, but here we are. Another solid day. Levels played right how they're supposed to. Good stuff. I mean, I'm telling you, when we go over this, it was good. Now, it was a slow day. We only had one great trade today, but all you need is one a day. Just remember that. One a day. You don't need 10 or 20 trades a day. One banger. Two makes for an amazing day, but one banger makes for a great day. So anyways, I'm glad to have everybody here. I'm so happy to be done with all the BS, and we're going to start kicking it off right. So we started Monday off pretty beautiful today. I had a massive influx of new people come in from the inner circle, and I am so blessed that they're here because I'm happy to welcome actually 3 amazing women traders, which I've been dying to get more women in the room. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining the team here. I'm looking so much very forward to working with you guys. We just had a massive influx of people, and people are starting to come. We're starting to see the magic, see the juice. This is what's up. So the team's steadily putting up numbers, and I'm happy to represent. So taking you guys to the promised land, and once again, the plans are on point. So I look forward to putting another banger out tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get into the day. There's not a whole lot to talk about as far as terms of the trade plan, but we're going to talk about the market a little bit because I want to parlay into tomorrow's trade plan because this is a very tricky area that we're in. And I know I say that a lot, but the thing is we've been in balance for days. we are like inside days, which is crazy. So, with that being said, we have to be very careful. It's very difficult to pick a direction. So we're really using our significant levels to be above or below right now until we have some really good untested stuff. And we actually do have some good untested levels that are actually really below us for some long. So I'm excited about that because, guys, I know if you watched the weekend review, I talked about, we went through a time period where we were surfing all-time highs and we had no quality levels to play. We would have like 1 hour levels and stuff like that. You guys know I'm not keen on 1 hour levels. I mean, I'll play them if I have to, but ultimately I live in the 4 hour and the daily time frame. And, without those, I don't really feel like we have high quality setups, but we have plenty of setups now, just if we come down a little bit lower. So I'm super excited because I've got a lot of stuff to play, which means a lot of good money to be made because this is all high probability stuff. So first and foremost, I had a bunch of people come in the room just now. I didn't see who they were. For whatever reason, Substack's not telling me, but I do see Mustafa's in the house. What's up, Mustafa? It's good to see you, player. And anybody else who's in here, I'm sorry if I missed you, but thank you for joining me. So let's go ahead and kick this off right. As usual, guys, I'm just going to, skip right to it. Make sure you like and subscribe across YouTube, X, Substack, and TradingView. Guys, smash that like button, share your friends, retweet the stuff, all the goods. If you are a Substack subscriber, please make sure you hit me up and let me know that you are that you're here, and I will get you. I have 2 invite-only indicators that you absolutely should have. You deserve them. You are a Substack subscriber. Patricia, what's up, babe? Man, I've been missing you. I was looking for you today. I swear I was telling everybody, where is she at? I'm so glad to see her here. I know this sounds corny, but I was a little worried about you. I'm like, man, she's here every day. What's going on? Maybe she's on vacation. I don't know, but I'm glad to see her on the stream. So, man, so happy to see you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for letting me know your presence is here because I swear. And listen, I was just saying we got a whole new clan of women in the room now. So I'm super excited. You guys are monsters, and I can't wait to see what we're gonna do. So anyway, sorry. I know, guys. I got a little sidetracked there. Patricia's, she's awesome. She's new to the room, and she's really been doing her thing. And I'm really happy to have you on the team, by the way, Z. Just to let you know, I love having you there. So all BS aside, thank you for being a part of the team. Okay, so when you're not there, I notice. Trust me. Okay. So, guys, I also want to let you know that this Thursday, if you haven't attended one of these, you should certainly come to this. On Thursday at 7 p.m., I'm doing the How to Trade a Trade Plan webinar. I think I actually typed it in the post and I forgot to put the link. So let me go ahead and do this right now, and pull this up. Hang on. Oh, let's see. How to Trade the Trade Plan. Love you, Z. Love you, babe. All right, let's get it. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put this in here for you guys. If you guys have not signed up for this, and even if you have, you want to come again, I would love to have you. Actually, I give away 2 free prop firms with these things. So 250K evals. Sign up for it. Maybe you can get a chance to win. Even if you've been there 100 times, I don't care. If you're part of the team, even if you're not, come on through, sign up. If you pull out of the hat, it's all yours. So, if you're smart and clever like Z over here, she'll take her little free eval and turn it into a funded account. So, everybody's got an opportunity to do that, especially with these trade plans. That's the whole point of this, right? So, you come in, you trade a structured process, you learn exactly how to trade the plan just like we do in the room. And you're going to, I hate to say it, but you're going to make some money. I mean, that's how it's done. And I hate to throw, I got to put my disclaimer out there, right? It's like, past performance is not indicative of future results. But at the same time, we do pretty damn good every single day. So, past performance continues in the future. So, pretty excited about the things to come, especially now that we're in a brand new contract. We've got some time now until rollover. So if you haven't been at one of these, please join me. I just put the links in the trade for YouTube and also for Substack. And if you even if you have been, if you want to win a prop firm, get in here and get in queue for it. So we'll definitely make that happen for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the trade plan. I want to talk about the market a little bit. So here we go. Let's get it. All right. So the 75-27 make it or break it. You guys, this daily is still huge. I know we talked about it in the weekend review. We're going to talk about it again. It just so happened that was the low of the day today once again. And, what's up, Byron? Yeah, man. Good to see you. Yep. Make sure you put in for that. I'll see you there. So once again, guys, 75.27. This is a monster. We've talked about this for 2 weeks now. This has been a huge level that continues to be our massive support to the all-time highs. Being above or below this really shifts momentum hard in the favor of bears or bulls. Now, again, as we're going to read here shortly in this, just because we're below it doesn't necessarily mean I'm bearish. I want you to understand that. But being above it, it basically implies bullishness in general. Okay. So, shifting below it does mean we could get a little pullback, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm bearish. Please understand the difference there. Okay. So, I'm always in for a great rotation, right? So let's just, great rotations mean amazing buying opportunities. So with that being said, let's little drum roll, please. All right. So here we go. The 75.27 make it or break it daily. Now, I didn't actually do a whole lot of slides for today. Obviously, it was a little bit of a quiet day, and we nailed the top on the short, and really we had the midpoint pivot, which we're going to go over, and then of course the low of the day, which was pretty cool. So here we go. It all comes down to 75.27. Above it, we stay bullish. I think we just heard me say that, right? Below it, we shift to weakness, fill the gap in singles, and rotate all the way down into the big buy zones. I expect us to spend most of the week inside a roughly 200-point bracket between 75.74 and 73.74. Cleaning up efficiencies, and the beautiful part, well, never mind, forget about that. Right? We're not going to read the rest of it. So here we go right here. This green line is 75.74, and then this down here, 75.27 was our big daily. Obviously, we popped up here and played these weeklies, which we'll get into next. But once again, back underneath 75.74, we had weakness, and they just kept peeling on down until we got down to our daily at 75.27, which is once again the floor. And if you've been trading with me for any amount of time over the past 2 weeks, this level's, the 75.27 especially should be extremely familiar to you, and you'll understand exactly why it's super important. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next slide. Of course, you guys know I got to start with SPX. This is my jam right here. And again, guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you the daily time frame as well when we're done here. But this was a big kicker for me today when we were looking to get short. Actually, I was in the Discord room with everybody, and this right here, we have this 75.01 daily above or below is so big for us. Okay, and this is the same level as 75.27 in terms of like the way the structure looks for ES. And then above 75.20, we break out to the highs. Well, as you can see, they tried to poke above 75.20 today, and they failed and came back down. So let's go ahead and read this. All right. So here we go. The daily I have called for our dividing line for more up or down so many times, it continues to be everything. Above 75.01 and truly above 75.20, we can send it right back to all-time highs. Below 75.01, I'm not ultimately bearish because we're up on all time frames and we have massive support below. So that tells you right there. Below this, I'm like, okay, it could probably come down, just like I said before, but I'm not bearish, right? We have two important daily levels. First is 74.38. That's down here. Now, we haven't got there yet, but just think about it in terms of the way I'm saying this, right? I'm saying above 75.01 and 75.20, we're going to go new all-time highs. Okay, I think that's pretty clear, right? And to below 75.01, I'm basically like, I'm not ultimately bearish, but we can come down to 74.38. What does that tell you? It means underneath that, I'm leaning to the downside, right? But I'm not bearish. I just want some rotation, right? And so, as you can see, we barcoded out this afternoon towards the end of the day, and we didn't quite get there yet, but it's possible. It's certainly possible. And so we'll see what happens where we open tomorrow, and we're going to get into a little bit of that today now. So here's the thing. In a quick recap right here, below 75.01, watch for 74.38, 74.20, all the way down here, okay? And do I still think that's possible? Damn right, okay? But again, it's all going to be about, can we get back above this 7,500 spot, ultimately 75.20? And we're going to get in, when we look at ES, because that's truly what we're trading, right? I'm going to show you some more really interesting levels that we're going to keep an eye on. Okay, so just to show you guys real quick on the daily perspective, just so you can see where this is coming from. This is the 75.20. This is where it originates from over here. You can see they played it from the bottom, top, right? And so right now we're sitting here, and this is where you can see this is kind of where everything shifts. Okay, I mean, it's super clear. And if we go down to the smaller time frame, like you just saw, I mean, obviously, the more granular you get, the more touches that you can see, etc. But I wanted to show you exactly where it originated from. And again, let me just go ahead and pull this down too. This is the 75.27. Look, same daily, bottom, top, right? And then, of course, we just touched it on the lows today. Once again, just unbelievable. This level is just massive, massive, massive. So I just wanted to show you guys how it compares in contrast or in context so that you can actually see. Now, the big thing that you have to understand is what happens if we go back to 75.01? Well, I think it could get a smack. So we'll talk about that here later, and more importantly, probably tomorrow, if I had to guess. So here's our first big level, guys. So this was, if you guys know, I called this trade out actually in the weekend review. I said, I really want to get short 75, 74 and really ride this thing down, right? Because for me, this is the make it or break it trigger for us. Now, they played me a little bit this morning. I didn't take the trade, so there was no harm, no foul. But as you can see, they popped up right here and smacked this level. Right? And came down. Came down pretty good, actually, like 15 points. I'm watching it this morning and I'm like, but they didn't send it, right? So I'm like, okay, we're probably going to go back up. And then this was the push up. So let's talk about this because I'm actually going to talk about 75, 74 in this slide and the next slide. The next slide's an RTH slide. This is a 30-minute ETH slide, which means it's, electronic trading hours. It has all the Globex action in it, okay? So make it or break it resistance, 75, 74. This is our 4-hour leg down. As long as we stay below 75, 74, I think we can rotate all the way down to the 75.25, 75.27 area. Hello. That was absolutely the low of the day today. And yes, I'll admit we popped above it, but literally this should have been your trigger to get short today once we got underneath it. And we actually were short in the room. We did pretty good getting underneath this here today, so which I'll show you here in a little bit. So, but again, it's just funny that, we talk about below this, I think we can come down here. And that was literally the low touch. It's just the process. It's not me. I can't take all the credit, right? And so warning, it all goes bad above 75, 74. A clean reclaim invalidates the rotation thesis. Now, if you guys remember, that was my initial short from here I was talking about. This is that short that I said, I want 75, 74 play and smack and come all the way down here. Well, they pushed above it. So it invalidated my short thesis from 75, 74. But look where I said it could take us. This takes us back towards the weekly above 75.96. And what I'm going to show you soon is I actually kind of refined the level today while we were in the stream. It's actually 75.99, which you can see played absolutely perfect, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So here you go. So here was our tested weekly ceiling. Check this out. This is, right here once again. Now it was very tested, but guys, this is a big weekly. So, as you can see, they pushed up into this. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times pushed into this and just couldn't get the job done. I actually called a short out in the room. I said, hey, listen, I got some really big buyers up here and they can't push this. If they can't push it, we're going to rotate. And lo and behold, that's exactly what we did. But one of the things I thought was really interesting, and this slide came out later. Actually, I did this slide first and then I did the other one. It was kind of funny because this is a cash sessions chart, right? This is an RTH chart. Here's the 75.74. You guys remember me saying above 75.74, it can come to the weekly. We literally opened right here. This was our open. Look, we opened up and they shot right above 75.74, took it right to the weekly, right? And so here we go. We can come up here and above this is where I would start to say it's not coming back down, but we never got above that, right? So, but look how it played. And then when it got back above or below 75, 74, we just caved in again. So this was a wonderful spot for us here. And again, weekly time frames are just massive monster levels. And, even though the level was very much tested, we were eyeing it because I told everybody in the room, I'm like, this thing looks like they're going to try to push it up. And after their 4th attempt, basically in a matter of 30 or 40 minutes, I'm watching, the buyer step in. I'm like, they can't get shit done. We might as well get short here. And, I'll admit, I got short, but I didn't exactly get everything I wanted. And it's funny, I'm gonna cry about this trade, even though I shouldn't. So our first target, we took it down to the overnight high, 22 points. And then I actually got flat here at 63, I think it was, for another total of 33 points. So I actually made 55 points on this short. And I was still boohooing in the room because I didn't hold. But, it's like, hey, listen, a perfectionist is never happy, right? So I was a little upset I didn't hold for lower, but it is what it is. So, and I didn't really want to get short here. I was, it pushed above 74. And I'm like, well, maybe this weekly's tested. It could just keep going. And really what we were doing is I was watching SPX, because if you guys remember, I said we pushed above the 75.01, right? And I'm watching them get above the 75.20. And then once they failed, I was like, okay, it's over with. Let's go. Buyers failed to push it. We're hitting the weekly. We're getting ready to lose 75.20. It's over. We're coming down. And that kind of rekindled my thought process from the weekend, because when I came in, they were a little bullish in the morning. So it was pretty interesting to see that happen. So with that being said, that's truly, really, what we're looking at for the day, right? So I'm going to actually get into a little bit more stuff today. We're going to pull up the charts. But, this is one of those one and done type days where we were able to grab the short from the highs. And I took one trade today, and we really just talked about the markets in general and talked about how, this stuff works. And I thought it was really valuable to kind of go over this stuff here for everybody. And you can get an idea. Look at my man, Carl. Carl's on the board today. Absolutely amazing. $200 on his short for the MES eval. I did $2,000 today. Of course, I told you I just pulled 50 points, so I better have done $2,000, right? And we got some more stuff, and I finally got a little bit more payouts here. I pulled out $17,000 today, which was nice. So all good stuff, all from the trade plan, all from just paying attention and being in the inner circle. And so great stuff and fantastic. I got nothing but good things to say. So let's go ahead and talk about this market, shall we? Now, guys, I want you to understand one thing. Let's just get things very clear. I re-listened to my weekend review, and I kind of sound a little bearish. And I'm not saying I'm not, right? But I don't mean bearish in the sense of like, oh my God, this is a market top and it's over with, right? I don't believe that, right? And it could be, it very well could be, right? It's possible. Right. But at the end of the day, we have a lot of support below us. And I'm not talking about like directly below us. I mean, 100 points, 120 points below us, which would be fantastic for a pullback. OK. And if you guys, kind of got my vibe from not only, from the trade plan, but from the video, I do think we're due for a rotation. And really, it all comes down to the 75.27. So I'm going to pull this up for you. I want to have a little conversation about value and kind of where we're at in the market. And maybe I can bust this off for like 6 minutes, and then we'll go out and touch some grass. Okay, so check this out. All right, so first and foremost, you guys know I love my TPOs, right? And I'm talking about, it's very difficult to pick a direction when you're in balance. Okay, and it's the reason for it is because you're not really breaking out and you're not moving outside of the range. So, this is where it becomes very important for us to use our significant levels and understand where we're at above or below. So here is the previous week's value area right here. This is last week's, what do you want to call it? Price action. Okay. And again, we had rollover, we had FOMC, we had all kinds of crazy stuff last week, which for me is neither here nor there. Okay. But as you can see, we are still sitting right here above the previous week's value and at below the previous week's point of control. Now, again, just like I said in the in the weekend review, being below the previous week's point of control doesn't necessarily make me bearish. But what it would make me a little bit on the more softer side is getting below the 75.39. Once we're underneath this previous week value area low, we have very low volume up in here, and they could rotate all the way down here, really, with a massive seller getting absorbed all the way down around 88, which makes a lot of sense from a charting perspective, which I'll soon show you guys. Okay. So this is really, really interesting stuff. And I truly do believe, I still believe that it's possible. And again, I'm not trying to forecast. So please don't take this and be like Ryan said. Listen, for me, there's a lot of ifs and thens, right? If we get below this, then this happens, right? And for me, it's below 27. And ultimately, it all starts underneath 39. Okay, that's when the bleeding starts to start, right? But again, as we know, 27 is our big major, but we just tested it again. That thing is so wiped, it's pathetic. So if we push below 27, I think we can really come down into this area down here, 75 or 74.46, 74.33. This is a big, huge composite value area that I've put together. Actually, I don't think it is. Let me look. Hang on. Nope, it's not. Actually, this is one big week's profile, but this is a very highly confluent area here. And I'll show you on the candles, why I like this area. But I think this is going to be a good spot. And I do think that we're starting to get a little tractor beam into this area, and I'll show you why here shortly. Okay. So with that being said, now that's a weekly standpoint. Now check this out. This is the daily. Okay. And this is just, it's kind of mind blowing, really, the way that we're doing this. Okay. So check this out. This is FOMC Wednesday. This is Thursday. This is the holiday. Now, first off, you guys who have been trading with me for more than a month, no, I don't count holiday price action. It's completely null to me. Get rid of it. It's crap, whatever. All that price action's blah, right? It's not real. The stock market is not open. Okay. I don't care if the futures are moving or not. That's just some straight degen action. That's people who can't help themselves. Okay. The stock market's closed. The price action doesn't count. Forget about it. Right. So just eliminate Friday from your view here. So as you can see, like we're inside still once again. So when you put all this stuff together, we are just sitting right here, right now, just sitting inside balance. Now we have this big area down here that I was keeping an eye on, and we kind of poked into this in the morning, just barely touched our toe in it, but there is a serious inefficiency all the way down here to 75.05. And obviously the only way we're going to get down here is if we break 27. But I just want to let you guys know that this is a big magnet. This will at some point get filled, and will get filled more than likely sooner than later. Okay. This thing is screaming. And the fact that they got down to it last night and just kind of played our little area and actually they played a 4-hour leg and popped back up, it kind of made me laugh because I was like, damn, they couldn't even do that. But that leaves a nice RTH target for us. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and pull over the candlestick charts now. Let's take a look. All right, so check this out. Okay, so pull this over now. All right, so let's talk about our daily time frame, guys. All right, so as you guys know, and here's the other thing I wanted to show you. So here's the weekly. I think we should start here because I always like to work my way from the top down, right? Because the weekly obviously is the big boy, and then the daily, then the 4-hour. I don't even care about anything else. Okay. But, and really, we haven't had an opportunity to really look at the weekly in such a long time. I mean, as you guys know, we've been moving up since April. It's like, finally, I get to use the weekly chart, right? So check this out. This is really interesting. So we tried to, this is the rollover weekly from last week. They tried to come up here and they did make a new high, but they opened above the previous weekly at 76, at 75.96, made a new high, rollover high. Really wasn't SPX, but it is what it is. And then they closed below. Okay. So, and then we opened back up and we retouched it today. Okay. So as we're starting, and that's when I said really 96 was the level I had, but now you can see 99 was the real level. Okay. Now this thing looks to me like, okay, we didn't really accomplish anything. We popped a new high, but it really, in my opinion, it's kind of a fugazi high because it was done on rollover. And, and once again, now we're playing this big area here, and they didn't accomplish anything with this big push up, right? Like we didn't actually gain any level of support. So, this has kind of got me a little on the fence here and leads me to believe that we could potentially get a little rotation. I'm taking this in context with some of the inefficiencies that we have in the profile, as well as the daily time frame chart. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, because what we're really doing is we're putting the story together. This is all big pieces of a puzzle that we put together. And that's what I do every single day. I basically take these things and I say, okay, let me put all this shit together and figure out exactly what I think is going to work. So here we go now. And I want to show you this. All right. So this is the 75.27. Once again, our big above below level here. Right. So right now we've created this massive leg down at 75.73. This is going to be our big level for tomorrow. We actually have 75.68. I'm going to go ahead. Let me actually pull this over so let me go ahead and do this so we can get two charts in one. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So check this out. We popped up, played the 99. Okay, cool. All right, we're down. Now, I told you guys underneath 75.74, I feel like we're going to start coming down. Here's another interesting thing. Out of all this price action over the past few days, look at this. They cannot close the 4-hour above 75.74. That's weakness. Okay. In my opinion, that's weakness. Now we're not closing lower either, right? But this was the move down that basically played this leg at 75.11. We came up and they had every opportunity 2 times to close above this and they couldn't get it done. So now that we come back down here we are, and we're holding the 75.27. Okay. So that's my first little, piece of the puzzle there. And I'm like, oh, this looks kind of soft. They're looking a little soft, right? So let me find my daily chart. Where did it go? Hang on. I lost it. There it is. All right. So here we go. So here's my 75.27. Now we have this major untested area at 75.73. Okay. This is our new daily leg down. We also have a 4-hour leg down at 75.68. Okay. This is what I was telling people in the room. This is going to be a massive make it or break spot for us come tomorrow. If we come up here and we play one of these two areas and they cannot basically push above the 75 area with confidence, we are going to come down. We will come, our first target will be 74.92, and the next target will be 74.58. Okay. And we could potentially come a lot lower than that. Now I'm going to see if I can, where's my pin at? Hang on. Let me see. I want to draw this for you guys. I don't know if my pin's going to work. And it never seems to work when I want it to. So this is our spot here. We really need to get below 27. If we come below 27, we got to watch 92. But it is certainly looking to me like this is a possibility. Okay. This area has been absolutely wiped, but please keep in mind that we do have a bullish lean above 27. I'm just seeing a lot of inefficiencies below us that really should actually get cleaned up. And so the only way for those to happen is to break 27. Okay. So if we do come down here, we have 92 and ultimately 58. And then we have the spot in the pocket around 14, which is absolutely lovely. So this is what I wanted to show you, was this big spot at 68 and ultimately the daily at 73. And we're going to keep a very, very close eye on this tomorrow, because honestly, this could pay us over 100 points in this short tomorrow. If we come up and play this and it actually reacts, and we don't get above 75, this thing's coming down. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, it's coming down. All right. But above it, we go right back up, and we'll probably, start pushing for an all-time high, because we have nothing left untested really above this area here at 75.75. I'm just going to call it 75.75 because the 4 hours 74.75 and the daily's 73 and the 4 hours 68. Okay. So, it's a fat zone. And so, I was doing the math for everybody in the room. If we play this and you stop out above, this wick up here, it's a 13-point stop. But your first target's 100 points, right? It's like, why not, right? 75 basically all the way down here. I'm sorry, your first target, is 80 points. And this one down here is 130, right? So you risk 13 points basically to make, let's just call it 100. I think that works in everybody's playbook. We're talking about a 10-1, 9-1, something like that. But if it doesn't work, we know immediately where it goes bad. We push above 75, we're going to make new highs, right? We stay below it, we're going to come down. It's really that simple, guys. It's that simple. Now, the only thing that leads me to believe that we could actually push up here is, check this out. We left a big, massive inefficiency yesterday all the way up to 75.70, which brings us all the way up in the spot, right in the pocket. Love it. Come get me. Right? Come get me. I really want to play this area. And then if we could play this area and then rotate all the way back down here, that would be amazing. Let's see if this works. Nope, my pin doesn't work. This is not a big surprise. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to give away too much, because right now I'm just, I'm speculating, and there's no reason to, just kind of, blow in the wind here. So anyways, with that being said, I appreciate everyone joining me today. We had a fantastic stream. We had so many people in there, and we've got so many new people, and they're amazing. They're just absolutely fantastic. So I really appreciate everyone, putting their trust in me and the plans and the whole 9 yards. And I'm going to take you guys to the promised land. You don't have to worry. We're going to put that paper up. So with that being said, make sure you sign up for the How to Trade a Trade Plan webinar on Thursday at 7 p.m. Obviously, the trade plan will be out first thing in the morning at 8:30 tomorrow. And of course, I'll see you guys at 5 o'clock tomorrow for the post-market breakdown. And with that being said, you guys be cool, go out, touch some grass, eat some good dinner. And tomorrow, we do it all over again and conquer the markets. Cheers, and have a fantastic night. And Z, I expect to see you in the room tomorrow. All right, cheers, y'all. Be good.